Now there's a neat little command that I want to show you, and this is not likely to be on the certification test, but it's just so handy and people use it so much. Well, it's really two utilities that do the same thing, but one is the old version that everybody uses, and the other is the new version that not everybody uses yet, but is better than the old version in a lot of ways. That's screen, just SCREEN, just like you would think it is, and TMUX, which stands for Terminal Multiplexer. So they do the same thing. Basically, they let you share a screen, but they also let you attach to screens that you left and you want to come back to, or maybe you're working. I'm working in a terminal here in my virtual machine, and so I've got my terminal pulled up, and maybe got some files open, or I've got some command history in here, and I'm going to connect from home later to continue working. And I don't really need the full graphical environment, but I want to sort of pick up where I've left off. Well, I can use screen for that. Now, screen on Debian by default is not installed. We haven't gotten to package management yet, but could hazard a guess on how you install screen. Just apt install screen. And now that was this root, that's what this terminal window is, and now I can run screen as Wendell, and it's like, okay, here's screen, here's the license and all this other kind of stuff, return to end. All right, so if we run screen-ls now, we can say, oh, there's a screen on this, and it is attached. There's one socket on run screen Wendell. So there's /run. Now we've figured out what another directory does. We covered etc. We kind of mentioned /dev. We talked about block devices and that kind of thing. We talked about home. We talked about proc, a little bit about proc. So you're slowly learning. Talked a little bit about lib and dev and bin. You're slowly learning what the directories are. So we'll get there. We'll explicitly talk about those too. But anyway, so /run. So now I've got my SSH connection, which, this could be from a remote computer. This may be somewhere that I can't see this screen anymore because I'm not physically sitting there. If this were not a virtual machine, if this were a physical computer sitting over here, let's say, I would constantly have to be going back and forth. SSH would probably be a more convenient way to use this. Got to become Wendell. And I can do screen-ls. And so maybe I want to do screen to attach to that particular one. So now as Wendell, if I do screen-ls, I can see, oh, this is the same one. So could I see what's happening over here, over there? Because that's really, I want to sort of see that terminal, right? Because I'm running screen on the graphical environment, I can detach screen here and reattach it somewhere else. So I can do Control-A-D. That's like, oh, I've detached from 2191, and now I'm back to where I ran screen. And, we ran screen, and it was command not found, and then we installed it, and then we got screen. So it says detach from 2191. Control-A, and then D, because magic shortcuts. We do man screen. Screen is a full screen window manager that does stuff. It's managing things from a text standpoint, though. So now we can do screen-ls. Now it says it's detached. So we will be able to attach to it. And so now we're exactly where we left off. I'm in the same directory, same command history, same literally everything, even colorization, the whole 9 yards. Maybe I want to do Control-A and D. I'm detached, and so I'm detached again, and then I can actually run and do stuff. It's pretty cool. If you need to save a history of commands that you ran between systems, or it's like I'm gonna do an upgrade procedure that I've got to do a bunch of times, or I want to share sessions, you can even share sessions for other multiple people on a system, so you can let somebody else attach to your screen session. Although TMUX is a little bit like screen on steroids. So TMUX again is not anything that is installed by default. TMUX is something that you can install. Again, screen and TMUX are not likely to be on any certification. It's just that screen at least is likely to be installed on any systems that you use, that especially if you have a more experienced administrator that is using the system, chances are they're using screen. So TMUX is a lot like screen, except it gives you a little bit more info and a little bit more indication that it's running. One of the things that I like about TMUX is that you can do this. You could do its keyboard shortcuts are a little different. You do Control-B and then %, and then you get two windows that are side by side. And so I can do Control-B left and right arrow, and it'll automatically switch between these terminals. And I can do exit on this one, and everything is still running there. And when I do Control B, you can sort of see that hey, I'm gonna there's a lot of stuff you can do. Control B H, I think. No, what is it? Control B question mark? Yeah, Control B question mark will show you what options you have. You can also do man TMUX and look at the man page, and you get this sort of fancy looking terminal. TMUX is really awesome. It really is. I'm going to exit so that I've got a full-size terminal window again. You can also stack windows one on top of another. This is kind of a small terminal window so that you guys can see what's going on. I'm going to run this small resolution here so that everybody can see what's going on, and this is streamable on like a tablet or something like that. So TMUX works kind of the same way. You can attach and detach it as well. So I ran TMUX's root, so I'm going to exit this real quick. Going to become Wendell. Oops. Going to run TMUX now. Cut that part. Now we're running TMUX. Do ls-l. Yeah, TMUX again over here. So now this is two different TMUX sessions. But maybe I can also do Control B, D to detach. So I detach from session 1. So TMUX attach dash, or actually TMUX ls. So this one is attached, the other one is not. So I can do TMUX. Let's attach to the other terminal. TMUX dash attach dash T0, which is the one that's still attached, which is this one. And so now we can see what's going on in two different windows. Now, if I were to resize this window, it's going to give me dots here because this is the primary, I guess, or this is the one. And it's like, okay, this guy's terminal is not the same size as mine, but I could resize it. So we both have the same size terminal window. Isn't that cool? It's pretty cool, I think. And again, you can detach from it. You can just do Control B, D. And because I've detached, everything is still running here. So I can do TMUX ls. It's kind of like screen on steroids. It's fun. Fun little quickie. Something you can play with. Not something you're going to see on any certification exam, but a huge time saver if you're a system administrator or, using the system a lot from the command line for various different things.